From as long as my family can remember, my great-great-great-grandparents were from an island in Spain called Islas Canarias, which is now Canary Island. In the early 1900s, my great-great-grandparents moved to Havana, Cuba, where my great-grandmother met my great-grandfather and got married at a very young age. Although their marriage seemed great from the outside, they had a lot of financial struggles as well as issues with their marriage. When my great-grandma had my grandma unfortunately was raised in a bad household and suffered the consequences of communism and lived a young adulthood with her liberties stripped away. This caused her to live recklessly. She had my mom at the age of 15. My grandma ended up figuring life out herself and worked very hard to come to the United States. Meanwhile, my dad's parents lived a better life and migrated from Venezuela to Miami, Florida. In the late 1980s, both my mom and dad's family finally migrated to the United States. My grandmother was a waitress when she came to the United States and did everything possible to support my mom's education and modeling career. Both my mom and dad met in South Miami High School and were high school sweethearts. My dad was fixated on graduating to make his parents proud, and my mom did exactly the same. Both of them graduated with their high school diplomas and were madly in love. My dad was very into volleyball and was your typical high school jock, while my mom was also an athlete and had her modeling career on the side. Soon after they graduated, they instantly found jobs and moved out of their houses by the age of 19 and 21. They were living out the life that my grandparents wanted for them. My grandmother desperately wanted a fresh start in America, and although she was old by the time that my parents got married, that did not stop her in getting her citizenship and applying for a job. When my parents became financially stable towards the beginning of their marriage, they decided to have kids. 2 years into their marriage. First they had my older brother, then they had me, and eventually they had my younger brother. After my brothers and I were born, the relationship took a toll that they could not handle. Finances were rough in the early 2000s and my parents fell out of love. My parents eventually got divorced when I was the age of 5, and ever since then I've been raised by my parents and my step-parents. Even through the struggles, the main person that I look up to is my grandmother and my grandfather. Both of them came from a society that they were not able to be integrated into, that they were not integrated into, but my grandmother strived for a new life, especially for her daughter, and accomplished it. On top of that, she's influenced me in numerous of ways and is a woman of God who has never wavered in her faith. Even though my parents aren't together anymore, both of them have played huge roles in my life, and I love them.